Hey everyone, so I did get got a lot of comments, about everyone else's kind of favorite seasons and their rankings and stuff, And since there's not really much news right now for Ninjago, I might as well make another video similar to some of the past ones I've done. But this time I'm gonna be ranking. This was someone commented this in my comments on my past video for the season rankings about my top favorite Ninjago episodes. And most of my favorite episodes actually do take place mostly within the first, or actually mainly within the three main first seasons, the three first seasons of Ninjago. I just really like them better. I don't know why. I mean, all Ninjago episodes are amazing. I just happen to really, really like what they did with these episodes. So don't think I'm not liking the other seasons. I really like Tournament of Elements, and I still really like the Possession and Skybound 2. I just really happen to like these episodes within these seasons. But yeah, I'm gonna be telling my top five Ninjago episodes from my number one choice to number five choice. And actually, I'll go from my number five choice to my first choice. So I'll just do it the other way, like I just said. But okay, so my number five choice, this is not my number one, this is number five, is episode 34, the Titanium Ninja. Now, it's not really in there. I just kind of thought of it. I had my four others I kind of had that in my mind. Now, I just kind of, in a way, came up with this one, but I still really, really loved it. Um, Zane's sacrifice and, the great conclusion to Ninjago Rebooted. It led really well into the Tournament of Elements as well with Zane and, Small Pythor later on and all that stuff. So it really set up a good run to Ninjago, the Tournament of Elements, and it was a really cool last ending to the Overlord. Great strength and power. What he always wanted to get to. He did get to that as the Dragon too, but as his return, this is kind of his last stand. At least that we think. Who knows what they'll do in the future, Ninjago. But right now, this was apparently his last stand. As strong as he can be. And then his fall. And Zane's sacrifice as well really led to more of an emotional, sad ending to the episode. It's probably the saddest Ninjago episode that I have seen. You know, um, there's been other sad ones as too, or more powerful ones too, but like this is probably the most powerful and sad ending to a Ninjago episode that I've seen so far, and that is why it's really strong on the emotions. If you're really 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 big Ninjago fan, um, it's probably very very sad to see Zane sacrifice himself, but of course the Tournament of Elements kind of fixed that, but it's still very sad to see in a way. So great episode, great story to lead into the next season and all that stuff. Great characters, their final stand, Overlord's final stand, and Zane's sacrifice, to defeat this huge, strong, powerful being, that's just terrorizing Ninjago, who just is back, and they can't find a way to get rid of him, and the pill, Cyrus Borg's plan kind of fell through, so he had to come up with something else. So that is my number five. My number four has got to be around about TikTok, episode 7, TikTok. And this one, I really, really like the story of Zane and his past. I really, really liked his true potential, and I just really, really liked that they kind of focus more on Zane in this episode. It was such a big change to the character. At first, we thought he was just odd and different, I mean, people can be odd and different, but this kind of explained why he was so different. And, it explained his past. He had no idea what his past was really. He just said he was an orphan all of his life, because his memory switch was off. He didn't know his past. So now he actually ends up finding it out with his father. He turns his memory switch on. He knows his whole past and everything like that. And yeah, it's just like a total unlock of another character. He like unlocks another whole part of himself. I mean, he had himself before, but now it's another whole section, another whole part of himself that just came alive. He's a robot now. He's figuring all these different things. It's very cool. Very cool episode. Probably my favorite. The season, of course, but probably yeah, my favorite of the whole season. Very great episode. And now season 2 also had some very great episodes too. And that leads me to my number 3 choice, which is Wrong Place, Wrong Time. This is actually my favorite episode for a little while. Around when it first came out, and a little bit after the season ended. But this episode, they went back in time. Garmadon went back in time, and the ninja went back in time, to the older times of when Kai was first being recruited, and the ninja were first getting together around the skeleton army time. And Garmadon's trying to screw up the whole past. And I really liked it because, it got to see the new characters, the newer, more experienced versions of the ninja, the future versions, and Lord Garmadon, kind of communicate and interact with the older times. I found it very cool. I really like to see the skeletons again too. Samakai, that was Samakai's last really true appearance, like in an episode. Like a role. So hopefully again, it looks like he may be coming back in season 7. So who knows what'll happen with that. But it's very cool to see the skeletons again. The ninja fight skeletons again. Try to fix their past, keep their past going. How they kind of got past some of the issues Garmadon was creating. But it was very cool to see some of them interact with the past of Ninjago. So yeah, I've just always really liked that episode. So here goes my number 2 episode, and that is Ninjago episode 23. Oh, by the way, that was episode 19. I mean, you should know that. But episode 23, Island of Darkness. This episode was probably one of the best scenes in the whole series, at least in my opinion. This is probably the best scene in the whole series of all the seasons, all the episodes that Ninjago has had so far. This is probably my favorite scene of Ninjago itself. The Temple of Light scene. When the ninja, they get up to the Temple of Light, on the Island of Darkness, and Lloyd finally unlocks new powers. They unlock their new weapons, their new outfits in the Temple of Light. Lloyd gains new powers in this glowing light. It shines all across the Temple of Light, and it's just the music in it, and just everything in this whole scene. I mean, it is just a perfect scene, honestly. The scene is just great, and then leading into them fighting with their new powers, their new weapons, and all that stuff. It had some really, really great fighting scenes, and learning their new abilities, kind of, and this scene itself, I mean, it was still a good episode and altogether too, but I mean, this scene itself kind of makes it, a really, really great episode, and that's why I really, really liked it. But the Temple of Light scene is probably got to be my favorite scene of Ninjago so far. So it's just a really, really great scene, and of course, I know. You guys may not like the episodes from Ninjago Rebooted, but my top favorite episode to Ninjago Rebooted, or to Ninjago altogether, is episode 31, Enter the Digiverse. Now, I honestly just really like this episode because it's so different. I mean, the ninja went to space and all, but I mean, it wasn't like this. I mean, they went to a digital world where they could just basically do whatever they want. I mean, they just jump. I mean, they could jump from the top of Borg Industries, and jump all the way down and just land safely. If they just imagine it, they can imagine whatever they want in the Digiverse, and I mean, they flew. They became Golden Ninja. I mean, it was crazy weird. And then also the the kind of flip-flopping between the the fight scenes and all that stuff, what the ninja were going through in the Digiverse, and then Pythor and the Nindroids storming up the Borg Industries while the Pixel and Borg are trying to protect the ninja while they're sitting there in their in the machines to put them in the Digiverse. But it was very cool to see that as well. And this more Pythor. It's Pythor's first episode, full episode since he revealed himself too. So it's kind of just an official return of Pythor. The official comeback of Pythor. So it is very cool to see that as well. And also, those scenes with Lloyd and the mech dragon. He's thinking about what his father said. He'll have to one day do even without him. Again, he's just kind of replaying that scene. That eventually ended up referencing to the next season, where Garmadon sacrificed himself, to save Ninjago from Shen's Anacondra army. So, some cool references again that they showed. Some very, very cool different things. I really, really like the digital world type of thing. I honestly really, really liked it. I don't know why. I mean, I know some people didn't really like the types of different things they did, but I mean, honestly, I feel like they need to do different stuff. If they keep doing the same stuff, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like the old stuff, but we can't. I don't want it to be the same type of stuff over and over again. It needs to change up a bit. So this season, the rebooted was a great way to change it up a bit. But in the later seasons, kind of have it more calm, but yet crazy different. Ninjago's got lots of weird, different types of crazy storylines all over the place, and somehow it fits together kind of really well. But yeah, that is my favorite episode in Ninjago at this moment. Who knows what will happen in the future. But right now, those are my top 5 favorite episodes altogether, though. So yeah, so my number 1 to 5 is Enter the Digiverse, episode 23, Island of Darkness, episode 19, Wrong Place, Wrong Time, episode 7, Ticktock, and episode 34, The Titanium Ninja. So yeah, those are my top 5 favorite Ninjago episodes. Yes, they all kind of take place within the first 3, but I just feel like it had such bigger character development, if you think about it. Like the development of the ninja. In Lord Garmadon, he was a very cool villain as well. The ninja going to the Temple of Light, just a big development there. Zane's true potential, another character development that I really liked. Their stories and stuff. Again, I already just explained the digital world thing. I just really, really liked the design and all that stuff. And then the past stuff, I liked that they kind of went back and showed some of the older villains and Samakai and all that. And episode 34 for the emotional, intense episode, probably the most emotional, intense episode I've seen in Ninjago so far. So it just, it was a very good episode. So that's kind of the reasons why. But there's my top 5 Ninjago episodes. What are your guys' top 5? But these are mine. So what do you guys think?